Welcome back. This is a crucial moment in the Weber Cup. The USA now have no margin for error. They simply have to win point after point this afternoon. The first match, Martin Larsen up against America's captain. There you go, that's the way the session might pan out. But remember, Europe only need 3 points for victory. So how far will it go throughout the afternoon? Well, that, I suppose, is up to America. And first, Tommy Jones. Over to your commentators, Cass Edwards and Simon Golding for the first match of the afternoon.
Thanks, Tony. The Reds of Team USA have got a bad case of the blues. And when they woke up this morning, that horrible scoreline they realised wasn't a dream. In fact, a nightmare. Europe playing brilliantly, lead by 10 points going into this final day. But Cass, as Martin Larsen prepares to deliver the first ball for Europe, beware the wounded animal?
Absolutely, yes. It may have been a bad day at the office for Team USA over the last couple of days and a bit of a landslide for Europe. But yes, look out. They're certainly going to be back on a roll, or trying to be today.
A ball change then for Larsen. Hasn't used this ball so far this weekend. A little light into the pocket. So it'll be a spare at best, but that's never a problem in the opening frame. The problem that Larsen has is that he's up against a man that we know is so capable of a maximum game on this lane. So decent start then from the Swede. Lucky Larsen, more like the Rock of Gothenburg so far this weekend. He's been fabulous.
He's been averaging over 230 for every singles game. But unfortunately, the last match these two guys played together in session 2 was when Tommy Jones hit that 10 strikes in a row for a fabulous 289 game. So we're hoping to repeat that against Martin Larsen right now.
Well, TJ certainly read the script for yesterday's match. Looks like he's read it again for today. Now, important point there. You saw how that ball reacted, Cass, on this oil pattern. Just tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the American captain has picked the longest oil pattern there is. It's 45 feet from foul line to where it tapers off to the break point, and that just leaves 15 feet of dry back end. And you noticed as he bowled the ball, it was very much slower, more finesse. It's a very high volume of oil in the centre part of the lane. It tapers off to either side, but in the centre there's 4 times as much oil in the centre of the lane than there is on the outside boards. So yes, they've got to be very careful. This ball will start aquaplaning away if you're not perfect at the foul line.
A great strike from Larsen, his first one of the day. That's what he does so well, makes the adjustment and then starts scoring, and he does it in the blink of an eye. And for TJ and his men, well, it is a gamble, this oil pattern, but they had to do something, Cass.
You know, I was looking through the stats of the previous sessions, and USA did have a problem, not only with leaving corner pins standing, but believe it or not, in the first 18 games of this event, they left 21 unsparable split formations, and they were all open frames. And that's done an awful lot of damage. It's a very low pin count, and unfortunately it came at a critical time, and games were lost. Consequently, they're 14-4 adrift.
Well, nothing wrong with the pin count at the moment for TJ. Doubles it up in frame 2. But remember, this oil pattern will not stay consistent throughout this game. The TV lights are on the lane. We've also got those very reactive balls burning a bit of a lane through the oil, but also carrying oil down into the dry part of the lane. So react, recover that.
Yeah, Simon, of course. And when that does happen, they will have to react immediately, make an adjustment, either a ball change or a setup slightly different on the approach, increase the speed or decrease. And then you can see that one's just hurried along, isn't it, for Martin? Didn't quite make the pocket. He's left a single pin, which will be a spare for sure, but so much little reaction there. Look at that. The ball just didn't want to get up because that's really heavy and long oil.
So far then, the gamble paying off for the American captain. It's very obvious to see just how that ball hung out. Didn't want to come back to the pocket. There was almost no margin for error. First 2 throws from TJ, very good. Right on the line that he was looking for. Got through the oil and then back into that pocket for two impressive strikes. And I must say, I watched the Americans warming up this morning, and they were hitting those strikes on a fairly regular basis on this pattern.
Pretty much a gamble, Simon, and obviously Tommy and the boys want to hope that it pays off. And look at that ball, a fantastic looking shot, but it held its line all the way. The ball was rotating, but it was going straight and just snapped up nicely at the back end. 3 strikes in a row. This is a great looking shot. Just drives through that 1-3 pocket, clears all 10 pins out. 3 strikes in a row for the American captain, straight out of the trap.
7 pin, just a little bit lazy. Going over. Those are those little indicators that the players are looking for. But at the moment, Tommy Jones looks locked into that line. And all Martin Larsen can do at the moment is try and put some pressure on with a run of strikes. Change of ball. And goes back to a ball that both the Americans and the Europeans have been using quite a bit over the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's a slightly more reactive ball, so it should get some more hook, but don't forget it is sailing through very, very heavy oil, and one of the reasons that 10 pin is left in the corner is because Martin did get the snap in the back end. The ball came up behind the head pin, didn't drive the 3 to 6 onto the 10. So it's a single pin spare and 10 pin in the corner. Brings out his harder surface bowling ball and goes straight into it. 3 spares out of 4 shots for Larsen, but spares are not what he needs.
Everybody's had an opinion here at the Barnsley Metrodome this morning about how things are going to play out on the final day. I think Cassio and I feel that it's surely impossible for the Americans to have a 3rd shocker of a day.
We're not really sure. This lane condition that Jones has picked is very radical. It's, as I said, it's very long, it's very heavy oil. It may just be the turning point, but they're so far behind. 10 victories adrift, and Europe just need 3.
It's good bowling. That is really good bowling from Tommy Jones. He has pushed that one on a little bit more.
Yeah, Tommy's finessing his ball down the lane. He's not using too much power, too much thrust down the lane, and he's absolutely perfect so far. And Simon, we've still got room in this tournament for a rather large game, if you know what I mean.
Yes, yes, definitely. We've been very, very close on a couple of occasions already at Weber Cup 16 to the maximum, including that unbelievable Baker score from Team Europe. That really did underline the sort of form that the guys are in the blue team. That one again, you can see this ball just hanging out wide, and because that oil pattern is so long, it is not coming back in the dry part of the lane.
Just a fraction wide here. It's made the head pin, but breaks nothing up. Leaves the 2-4 and the 10, which is a makeable split. You have to go hard and straight and clip this 2-pin left-hand side and try and bounce it across.
Don Barrett showed us how
Pretty
to do
much
it
like
yesterday. Larsen's done it today.
My word, he must have been listening to me, because a brilliant execution of a split. And it's a bonus time because it's not an open frame. Just look at this. Bounce that 2-pin off the kickback into the 10 and it's gone. Great looking shot.
I think we can officially name that one the European spare from now on. It's not troubled them at all. Well played, Martin. And it's shots like that that keep you in a match that can sometimes make all the difference. Tommy Jones trying to make sure that that reaction from the crowd and that fabulous shot doesn't knock him off his own process. Very carefully and steady through the routine before he actually goes to his mark to begin the delivery. The sequence of steps that slides into the line. Oh, and finally his run breaks down. A 10-pin left, and that's concerns for Team USA.
Just didn't quite get up in him behind the head pin there, and of course the 10-pin stands in the corner. It was, to all intents and purposes, a great looking shot. Just millimetres light. So it can only be a spare, and another 300 game is gone, alas.
Spare taken out to keep Tommy Jones pacing at a potential maximum of 2.79. Martin Larsen at 2.46. You get the feeling here in this game he can't really afford another error.
No, he's gone 3 spares in a row. Only 1 strike. And we're at the halfway stage already. Jones has got a 4-bagger.
He's a fabulous technician. He is a man who will make the changes that he needs to make and then try and apply those to the situation. And it looks to me, Cass, like we've got a 3rd ball change for Larsen.
Well spotted, Simon. He has to do something. He's 33 pins adrift. And we're at the halfway stage, and Tommy's not going to give it up.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. And now, if he comes back with that ball, he can be a little bit more confident with that line.
A great tactical change. Upped his speed a bit as well. But the 7-pin's got a bit lazy in the corner there, but it's eventually gone. And a strike is just what the European player needed, just to get him going, we hope.
Looks to be a touch more right as well, at the foul line.
Well, the heavy oil is in the centre of the lane, as I said, and he's trying to go around it, but at the moment he's just struggled to make the pocket and carry all 10. So maybe he's just started something now.
The Europeans have not been afraid to use the dry, as they call it, to get them down to the deck. Americans have been playing much more across the lane. Starts it centre, rolls it in, and another single pin left standing. This is getting worrying for Tommy Jones, and he'll have to start thinking about his change.
Well, if he's going to make a change, yes, it's time to do it. But, I mean, that wasn't too bad. It was a tad high on the head pin, as they say, but he's been pretty much in the pocket with all 6 shots so far. Unfortunate just to leave the 4-pin, which can only be a spare. But he has got this lead. We're running out of frames, and Larsen's got to do something. And I don't think Jones is going to be giving up too much.
A real battle to start the afternoon's proceedings on the final day of Weber Cup 16. So many people thrilled by the tremendous performance of this European side over the course of the last 2 days. But plenty of support for the States, as you can see, in the crowd. And they will be willing this into an evening session. As Tommy Jones alluded earlier in the day, back in 2012, he knows it's possible to win multiple games in a row. Good shot. That was the best looking shot Larsen's thrown today.
Yes, and his first double. So 2 strikes in a row, frames 6 and 7. Really getting up for this one. He'd like to go right off the sheet here if he could. Potential 2.46 if he can do that. You see Jones has lost his strike line for the last 2 frames. He wants to get back on there as well. It's certainly all to play for.
Yes, I guess at this early stage it's more than likely that Tommy Jones just missed his mark a touch on those last 2 throws, rather than the condition of the lane deteriorating to a point where it's made him miss. So he'll want to find that line again. Hasn't changed the ball. And you can see why not. He's confident that the line is there to the pins, and if he can strike it off from here, it's going to be a point USA.
Yeah, it's a very tight line he's playing. He's playing right on the edge of the oil line, and it is holding straight for pocket, which is really good. Not looking for that big bend, coast-to-coast hook, which he's very familiar with, Tommy Jones. He's finessing the ball down that lane and hitting the pocket very nicely.
Well, Guy Kaminsky said he's a captain that leads by example, and he's setting a pretty good example for the first match of the day. Larsen then, looking to turn that double into 3, a turkey. Oh, light through the pocket once again, and Lucky's luck, I'm afraid, deserting him at the moment.
Yes, didn't help, unfortunately. There's a single pin spare. Again, light in the pocket. Can't quite get up. Fighting through the oil. Leaves a 2-pin standing. That'll be a straightforward spare for him. Couldn't turn those 2 strikes into 3 in a row. It's
around about this point in the games that the Americans' problems have occurred. With an uncanny regularity. We've seen a number of unmakeable splits, as Cass mentioned, just when they need it. And this is a shot that Tommy Jones really needs.
Let's not go there, Simon. He's looking for a double, the American captain. Working on a strike, looking for a double in frame number 8. And if he makes it, this could be the turning point that wins the point. Very important frame, this one.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from the American captain. Pressure was on, and he's found a fabulous shot.
You couldn't really ask much more from anybody to do this. But just to bury it in the pocket when you're working on a strike, shoot 2 in a row, it's 6 strikes out of 8 frames. And Tommy's on a roll.
Didn't like that one, because he knew that that was going to cut up straight into the head pin, and that's the game done.
Yes, you're right, Simon. I'm afraid it is off the hand. The entry angle into the lane wasn't right. It was left of target, and he knew it straight away. Look, you can tell at the reaction of his face. He's turned away before the ball has even hit the pins. It's left the 3 and the 10, which is a small split. The ball will actually fit between these 2 pins, just like that for a spare. But unfortunately, spares are not what he needs at this very late stage. I think he realises the game is done.
It's the bad and the good news is the same thing for both teams, really. Bad news for Europe is that Lucky Larsen has been nullified by this oil pattern, by the looks of it, which is obviously the good news from Team USA's point of view. So pacing 268. This should be a comfortable victory for Tommy Jones. It should be 14-5. Baby steps, I think they call it. That's where the comeback has to start. 10 left, but no sign of those troublesome splits. As long as he can avoid that, he'll be okay.
Pretty much every ball has been in the pocket so far for Jones in the 9 frames. He's had 3 single pin spares. It's not so much the score, it's the victory. It's the point on the board that he wants. Takes the spare away nicely. Goes through the 200 barrier very easily.
Martin Larsen straight over to Captain Dominic Barrett for a quick word.
Well, with 1 frame to go for Martin, it may well be that another ball comes out just to experiment slightly.
Not a bad idea with the doubles to come. Stuart Williams will be his partner for that. And Tommy Jones will also stay out there on the lane to partner Big Wes Malott.
And there's the ball change we were talking about. Back to the original one. Just searching around the lane to try and find something, set himself up for the next match.
Ball is not driving into the pocket at all.
No, didn't finish at all, and drove straight through. Light on the headpin, left a little split, and, well, the game's all over, so it's irrelevant, really.
Oh, well played. Trick shot to finish. Earns himself another ball.
Yeah, he just wanted another ball to bowl, didn't he?
Which one's he going to go with this time? That's when you need your captain. That's a brilliant piece of captaincy from Dominic Barrett. Just getting in there and sharing some of the responsibility.
Yeah, change of ball again, Simon.
Yeah, not a surprise either. He needs to find something that works for the doubles. I thought this was his best ball. I thought he was throwing this most confidently. This is what he got the double with, and he's finished with a strike to set the mark at a rather lowly 201. Don't be surprised if Larsen comes out with that ball at the start of the doubles.
Yeah, he looks pretty disappointed, but as you say, maybe he's learned something from the last couple of shots. He actually changed his line. His feet stance were left of his mark, and he's kind of played centre of the lane a little bit just to see what the reaction was. And now the crowd will bring Tommy Jones through this victory. Once
Throwing
again,
it
he's
pretty confidently, but he's left that 10.
Yeah, hits the pocket yet again. Just a fraction light, but he's been so accurate during this game, and that's what set up the victory. And you can tell, looking at that bowling ball, the ring of oil that is around it, which shows you just how much oil there is on this lane. Very heavy indeed. Goes down 45 feet down the lane, and the bowling balls actually carry it down even